about to watch is genuine footage from our investigations. No manipulation, no fakery, just real footage by real investigators. Viewer discretion is advised.
Paranormal Our
Clearly done. Full bathrooms. You get that, sorry?
I am, yeah.
A lady in here earlier when we were doing the walk around, and she's here again.
Haunted Britain Investigations.
Franklin Hall, previously known as the Drill Hall, was built in 1899 for the 7th Spilsby Rifles Volunteer Corps. This building during World War I became a Red Cross hospital for wounded soldiers. They were cared for by volunteer nurses, also known to have held dances for the airmen stationed at RAF Spilsby. Many of these brave men never returned home. Paranormal claims. Apparitions seen on a lobby staircase. Strange presences felt. 2 overnight visitors also experienced something that they refused to talk about.
Hey everyone, we're at the Franklin Hall in Spilsby in Lincolnshire in the United Kingdom. Spilsby is associated with Sir John Franklin, who was the great explorer, and Franklin Hall is named after him. Let's go inside, because this is a really interesting building. It's very deceptive once you get inside. It doesn't look tremendously big from outside, but it is enormous inside, lots of rooms, and we're hoping we're going to be in for a good night tonight. So this hall was built in the late 1800s, and it was used in the First World War as a military hospital. There's actually a plaque on the wall here that says that there was 1,386 patients admitted to this hospital when it was used in the First World War. So you can imagine a lot of souls will have passed here, possibly a few will have passed away, I'm sure they had, so we're definitely going to see some spirits here tonight, I think. When I came here a few days ago to pick the keys up, I had an experience in this entrance hall. A spirit appeared who was wearing a trench coat and a sou'wester hat, and it had a very, very powerful tobacco taste imparted psychically onto me. That's a very unusual thing to happen. That's called clairgustance, where you actually get a psychic taste, and that was really, really strong. I understand from what he told me his nickname was Smokey, which kind of goes with the tobacco. So I'm hoping that he's going to be here tonight. We'll just lock the door before we go around. There's a staircase here that's had some reputed activity on. A gentleman's been seen with a rifle. This building was actually used as a rifle range down in the basement, which we'll show you in a little bit. So there's a little bit of history there. Coming through into the main hall, this building's currently used for a lot of community groups and meetings, and the local council have offices here. So it's a really well-used building for many things. Okay, so this is the main hall. Earlier on when I was walking through the hall, I caught sight of a figure through the doors at the bottom. I thought at first it was maybe a reflection of me, it was a sort of a person type height, but couldn't recreate it. And then we came through these doors, and I was actually very quickly then aware of what appeared to be a captain, due to the the uniform that he was wearing was standing right here, and I could see his face very clearly. There are some pictures dotted around the building. I haven't been able to identify this gentleman from those pictures, but I could see his face very, very clearly. It'll be interesting to look through some history books and see if there's anybody that looks like him. So we've got some stairs that go up onto a balcony here. We've got a camera up there looking down, haven't we, over the hall? Okay. Okay, so coming through into this area, it has a really strange atmosphere in this corridor. Can't really put my finger on it. It feels like you're being watched. And this leads down to some toilets. In the gents' toilets, there was a spirit called Jack that has made himself known to me already. He's dressed in a brown, sort of Victorian type clothing. Now these actually weren't the toilets originally, the toilets were near the entrance, so we're not sure what was actually in this area. I've come through here. We've already heard like a breath noise in this area. And also I've encountered gentlemen that walked through to see what we were doing. So we've had quite a few spirits appear already. We haven't even started the investigation yet. There's a kitchen area through there. I haven't picked up any spiritual activity. And in this room, we've got most of the team. In fact, all of the team are here.
We've got somebody with us.
Right, okay.
A man, and he moaned. He went into
Okay. So this room has a very unusual atmosphere. When I came here first, earlier on, before we set up, there was a definite uneasiness in this room, and it felt very different to the other areas, so I thought that might be a good idea to do a vigil in here early on. Okay, let's move on. It's getting a lot colder, isn't it?
It is. But it's lovely and warm in here.
Right, as I've walked through this door, I've just had a blast of energy from through there. Like there's somebody there.
The cam mic picks up what sounds like a child giggling just after Steve says "like." Lee and Steve did not hear this at the time. They are the only two team members in the area. No one was outside this area at the time. Is this a disembodied giggle or simply audio pareidolia? You decide.
Like there's somebody there. Like there's somebody there. Like there's somebody there. It's quite powerful.
Okay, but why would they be down here of all places?
I don't know. Okay. So we're down in the cellar.
Yep.
Which is under the Franklin Hall. The cellar is actually quite large.
It's huge.
It's one of the creepiest cellars we've been in, and I'll show you why in a second. I'll just let my eyes adjust a little bit. This is just one part of it. It's nice and warm down here, luckily. It's one of the few locations that's heated overnight. There's underfloor heating and the heat's coming down from above us, so. But there are some very creepy rooms. Just have a look in there. When I was down here earlier, I saw a spirit just sort of pop through the doorway. What this was used for exactly in this part, I'm not really sure. And if we come into this area, it is really, really dark down here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to bump into these brick pillars.
Okay. Obviously you can see really clearly on the video, but for us it's actually pitch black.
I can show them what it's like. So if that's what you're seeing on infrared, that's what we're seeing.
Very little.
Very little. It's absolutely pitch black. Apart from down there where there's a little bit of light. As you can see. If I turn the infrared back on, and we're back on.
So in this room, in the war was used as a rifle range, practice area. There's also another rather creepy room over here, and that really is very creepy in there. So we're definitely going to be investigating here tonight.
Yeah, and we've got a locked off camera in here, pointing, and it's filming all this area.
It's a great atmosphere down here. It is so creepy, I can't tell you how creepy this is. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some good activity down here tonight. You'll certainly hear any noise because it is so quiet down here. You could hear a pin drop. Okay, so any spirits here with us in the room, please come forward and show yourselves.
Eek, what was that? No. Settlement, I suppose, but it rattled my chair. It rattled my chair. What is that? Table or something? You all heard that, right?
Yeah, we all heard that. I thought it was your chair.
No, it rattled my chair.
Is there somebody in the room with us? Can you make yourself known? Can you do something? Make a noise. Show us that you're here with us. Not far in front of me on the floor, there's an object that's glowing red. That can sense you if you walk up to it, and it will make a noise and light up. There's a female at the door.
Which door?
The main door.
By Rob.
Double doors, and she is a nurse.
Okay.
Because she's in a very distinctive nurse's outfit.
Good evening, madam.
Is she inside or outside the door?
She is kind of right in the doorway, and I'm actually starting to go colder on my right side. My right leg is going cold.
Okay, if the nurse would like to come in.
It's me moving.
Oh. I'm not sure whether I've just heard again somebody talking over the top. As soon as I asked the nurse to come in, it sounded like somebody was trying to talk over the top of me.
Yeah.
Come on, please come forward. We don't mean you any harm. We come out of the greatest respect.
Did you pass away in this place? Stomach. Did you come here for dances during the Second World War, maybe? It's a place that you had happy memories. What's that, Laura?
It keeps seeing like a flash of light, but I don't know if it's you've got a device or something up there. That
Camera up there, but it wouldn't
Camera.
Be, it wouldn't be flashing.
It won't be flashing,
It's
no.
around that door frame. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. Just like
What
a flash
colour?
of light, white.
See, it was up there that we got movement and shadows last time we were here. Is there anybody up on the balcony? Can you show yourself to us? Can you bang something up there to let us know that you're up there? There's one on the stairs.
I wonder if it would be good to leave it up there.
Start. Come on, don't be afraid. Is the gentleman still with us, Stu?
Lee.
He's behind me to my right.
Lee.
Yeah?
Because you might know my imagination, but you see where the light's shining through the door?
Yeah.
Could have sworn I saw a shadow just walk past the other side of the door.
That's exactly what we saw.
Through
That's
glass.
what
Yeah.
was him.
That is exactly what we
Not
saw
on the
about.
balcony, on the door
No,
behind
that's
you.
right.
Behind the door, that's
Yeah.
what we had.
That's what we had.
Yeah.
Exactly about 4 times last time we were here. I saw it twice myself.
It was quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How weird is that?
Yeah.
And I didn't.
And you weren't even here on
No.
the last one. And we've not told you anything about it.
Yeah, they did. That's
We've both seen that.
I've just seen something go across the door up there.
That's what they just said.
That's what we just said.
There was a solid shadow that's just walked from left to right. Oh God.
He says, get him down. Get him down? Get him down, just have him there.
Why do we need to get him down? Can you just back on the table?
Okay, so we're doing a vigil in the main hall, and all 3 of the investigators, including myself, have seen a shadow, a solid shadow, move from this door window here, going from left to right. So I've come up here now to have a look. We know that there's nobody else on the premises. There's no way in. All the doors to outside are locked. Yet we definitely see a shadow figure move across this window here at the door, as if it's walking towards the brick wall. But there's nobody here. That was weird. That's locked. So the only way somebody could get in here is down through that door, or through that door, which is where we're all doing the vigil. And that is where we saw the shadow up there move across the door.
All you told me is that Steve got shoved.
Got shoved, yeah.
So were you at service until? If you're an older gentleman, did you work on the tanks as opposed to actually in them? I've just seen that shadow again there.
I can't catch this all on camera.
Oh, you're alright?
Yeah.
Steve, you okay? You okay?
Yeah. Whoa, that was a bit weird.
What happened?
Oh, that was a bit.
Can you explain?
Okay, so it was like he was in a tank and there was some sort of explosion, and it was just I just felt myself falling backwards. Whoa.
Alright.
Yeah,
With the force of it.
that was really really weird.
He's had things like this happen to him before, so I'm not that worried.
You know, as soon as I saw you go down, I thought, explosion. I thought,
So it is that doorway where we actually did see them moving about. And I think I actually described them as very quick shadows.
Yeah. I'm starting to pick up a soldier who's been quite badly injured. He has an object that's like I'm not sure if it's a metal bar or something, and it's gone into his head. It's embedded in his head.
I don't know even how to start to ask the person that must have died of those injuries, questions about stuff. And when you describe something that horrific, thank you for your... You just don't know what to say, do you? I feel bad saying thank you for your sacrifice because this man gave his life. These people were convinced by their generals and commanders that they were fighting a war that would end all wars. And they went to their graves thinking that that is what they were doing. And it didn't. Because then there was another great war afterwards. And more, and still today. So I'm sorry that happened to you.
I'm picking up a lot of residual of injuries and things. People that have had quite serious injuries. Well, that's to be expected in a place like this. There'll be a lot of things that I'll pick up on.
Injuries.
They're not active, it's just I'm seeing some things that were here.
okay, if there's anybody in here with us, please make yourself known to us. We've seen a shadow go across the door. If you're here, the person that's been making those shadows, please come and join us. We mean you no harm. Probably see a lot of devices, a lot of little gadgets. If you go and stand near one of them or stand in front of one of them, we might be able to see you.
It's me turning around.
If you talk quietly or whisper or shout if you want to, then we have devices and gadgets that will be able to hear you. We also have sensors and alarms that if you go past them will make a noise and light up. All these things especially put up here so that we can see you, hear you, recognise that you're here. you'll see a little black instrument on top of a stand. If you come and stand in front of that, it will make a stick figure appear on our computer. You probably won't know what a computer is because they weren't around. Okay, we're also calling out to anybody in the main hall. If you would like to make yourself known to us, please come forward. Did you ever come to any of the dances here?
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Was it outside? It's female, isn't it?
I heard it.
That's what I'm listening to. No, somebody was singing. Female.
Definitely a female voice that seems to come from down there.
The team set up this static cam film in the hall. They leave the location to get some food. 20 minutes in, and the cam mic picks up a loud bang that comes from inside the location. This location was used as a rifle range during the Second World War. What does it sound like to you? You decide. This is the static cam filming the staircase in the lobby. It is the staircase where an apparition of a soldier has been seen. The team set up a REM pod device at the top of the stairs. As the team are moving to other vigils, they hear it alarm. Jem and Lynn decide to do a vigil by the stairs.
Okay. Lynn, move this way. Hello, there's somebody here with us. Please, can you do that again? Can you make the light on that box go off again for us, please?
Oh, that's awesome. Hi.
Were you part of 207 Squadron? From RAF Spilsby?
Oh,
Hello.
Maybe.
And maybe, are you from 207? RAF Spilsby? Come and talk to us. Oh, thank you. Good, 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 good. Like it. Do it again for us. Can you tell us your rank?
Oh, what was that?
what was that?
Can you repeat that, please, sir? We didn't quite hear you. What was your rank? What was your purpose here? Were you one of the officers that was based here?
By the way, I think I've debunked one of the lights I saw on the left-hand side. I think it's IR light play. It's done it again. Huh?
There's no IR lights in here.
What is this up here then?
That's an IR light.
That's
But that wouldn't affect over there.
That wouldn't affect into your lens unless you're far against the mirror.
It's just when I turn, I get like little light play on the left-hand side. It's like something's reflecting off something when I turn it around.
What's that on? You've got reflective patches behind the whatever that is in.
I think it's on. Shine the torch on this. It's on this side, darling. I think it's that plastic thing. For some reason or other, when I pan, it seems to reflect.
That's the plastic.
Yeah, that's what it's reflecting off.
There's a metal ring on thing there.
No, it's definitely this plastic.
On that. And here, look. It's like a metal ring that's sticking up there. Look, I wonder if it's that.
It could be.
No, what I'm seeing is definitely off the plastic. Because if I do that, it's there. That's right, we've debunked it anyway.
Yeah.
When we were down here last time, I believe Steve picked up on a clergyman. Steve picked up on a man of the cloth. Seemed, he said, quite stern at the time, but Steve seemed to think that was only because he didn't know what we were doing here. So is the Reverend Vicar, Father? I don't know how to address you, I'm afraid, because I don't know who you are. Are you down here again this time? The place was used as a hospital during both of the World Wars, as they're known now. And if there's anybody in here with us, or next door in the room where Rob and Henry are, could you come and do something for us? Talk to us. Maybe there's a message that you didn't get to give to somebody.
With the greatest respect, we mean no harm at all. We're just here to try and understand more about you, about this building, and maybe why you still reside here. We know this building has had many uses. One of its main uses was as a hospital during the Great War, as you would have known it. So if you're in white, were you maybe one of the medical team that worked here? Were you a doctor? Were you a nurse? Please don't be scared, please come forward and talk to us. We have many instruments with us that will allow you to communicate with us. Because although you may be here watching us, you might even be talking to us, sadly we can't hear you and we can't see you. So we have to rely on instruments that later on we may be able to hear you. So at the top of the stairs there's a device that if you walk near it, lights will flash and it will make a noise. Please don't be alarmed, it won't hurt you at all, it just allows us to know that you're where you are. There's another device further down the stairs which will do the same. We've also got a device on the floor where if you speak near it, it will translate what it is into words that we can understand. Unlike probably many of the visitors that visit this place now who are unaware of you, maybe ignore you, we don't want to ignore you. We are interested in finding out more about you. Are any servicemen here who were maybe brought here back from the battlefields to be treated, have their wounds tended to? Maybe sadly this building was your last place on earth before you sadly passed away. Again, we're here with utmost respect, especially for what you did for our country and our freedom. If you were the person that set off that equipment before when the team were here, could we kindly ask you to do it again for us, please? So if it was you that did it, then you'll know that the machine, the equipment doesn't harm you. It might have startled you, because I tell you something that certainly startles me when it goes off. Where's the staircase lead to?
up onto another landing.
Right.
But we're not allowed in the rooms. We're allowed to go up.
So what's this building to you? Did you work here? I've just seen movement in that hole.
Still there?
Well, see where on the reflection on the floor where the emergency exit sign is reflected? I could have sworn I saw movement in there, in that light, just out towards the left hand, well, where I'm sitting towards the left hand side.
I'm just seeing some, I'm not sure it's not a shadow from, or like movement in the glass.
Whereabouts?
In this ray of light here, there's two.
Yeah, that's where I've seen
right
it.
hand one.
That's where I've seen it.
I think it might be movement in the glass up on the glass. Didn't go right the
No,
way
none of
across.
us are moving, Lauren.
It didn't go right the way across the light, it just sort of dipped in and then dipped out.
That's where I saw it just a minute ago. In that, the mine was in the left hand light.
I'm not convinced it's not something moving. You know, like if you move slightly in the glass and it looks like it moved.
No, but I've just seen a movement that doesn't add up to moving your arm or just moving your head. I've just seen quite a big movement in there.
When I'm moving my head, actually, it doesn't have the same effect.
Where did you see your movement in it?
It started from left, it went across both pieces of light.
So it's something breaking up that green reflected light.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you see, I can't see the actual green light because it's covered up with a no smoking sign.
Right.
So all I'm seeing is the marks of light on the floor. So I'm not getting any of that convection or confusion or whatever. I'm just seeing the movement in the actual light on the floor. And I saw quite a big movement. It was like a big pendulum movement across the room, quite quick. As I say, I saw both pieces of light. Because there's a faded lighter, and there's a faded darker one to the left, and then you've got the main light coming across here, and I saw it go like a pendulum through both.
But you've already seen it tonight, haven't you, Mark?
Sorry?
That movement up on that balcony past the door.
Yeah. Over the two investigations, different team members have said they had seen a dark mass or shadow move at speed across the window in the door on the balcony in the main hall. Sadly, none of our visual cams caught this strange occurrence. Could it have been it was simply a trick of the light? You decide.
Okay, is there anybody down here with us in the cellar? This also used to be the rifle range, we understand. Would you like to come forward? There's a piece of equipment in the middle of the floor. Why don't you walk up to it and see what happens? Why don't you make a noise for us? Let us know that you're with us.
Were you one of the soldiers who maybe came down here for rifle practice? It must have been really noisy down here. We're fortunate to have Steve with us. Steve has a gift which means he can see you, hear you, and possibly communicate with you. So if you are here, if you're in the shadows and maybe a bit shy, please come forward and speak to Steve. because the rest of us don't possess that gift. Unfortunately, we can't see you or hear you, which is why we have to use equipment and machines. We have devices on the floor where if you walk close to them, they will buzz, make a noise. Don't be scared of them, they won't harm you, it just tells us that you're close by. We have other machines that will be able to pick up your voice should you speak to them, because it could be maybe that you're speaking to us right now and we seem to be ignoring you. That isn't the case, it's just that we can't see or hear you. Over the 2 investigations, the team experienced the strange shadow passing by the balcony door. Residual energy being replayed over and over again, or simply light play. The REM pod activating on the staircase where the apparition was seen. Coincidence maybe? The cam mic picking up the giggle in the basement. Audio pareidolia? Or was there something stranger going on? You decide.
We are Haunted Britain Investigations.